Okay, so the next video we have is once again on the defensive line. Okay, now we're just going to talk about once again the actual advantages of having a line that comes up together. Okay, so basically the ball here gets to the dummy half. The minute the dummy half manages, one of the players shouts break, and then the defensive line comes up. At this point in time, this player here is making a run onto the ball, as are the other two who will follow in turn. Okay, and what happens is basically the ball comes out, makes a successful pass. Okay, the defensive line still coming up as one. Okay, now what you're going to notice is if this player was to just, let's say, do a quick pass, does a quick pass to the oncoming player here. Okay, comes on, and this defensive line is still coming together as one. Okay, so they're still coming up as one. You'll notice that the gap between the two red players here is actually quite small. Now let's examine this again, except this time what we're going to do is we're going to the line will not come up as one. Okay, so what happens is the line comes back. Okay, this guy here, this girl here, excuse me, blonde hair, is coming up to as the marker. The ball comes out, gets quickly passed over, and as before, the break occurs with the defensive line coming up together. Okay, now if you imagine that one person, they start to come up unevenly. Okay, so one person breaks the line. Okay, and comes up ahead of his line to get the marker. Okay, so what'll happen here now is basically when this player runs forward to the marker, you notice that there's a much bigger gap because basically it's like a diagonal. Okay, so if this player was located here, basically the distance that that player has to run into is basically this wide. However, it isn't, it's actually a diagonal, so the gap between the two players is actually much wider. Therefore, this player here has a much cleaner run through. Okay, so basically the ball can get passed over this person here. We're just going to delete that arrow, and basically they have a much cleaner run through. There's a bigger gap here, and then the player makes it through. However, if they were in line with each other before this pass occurred, the pass occurs roughly at this point in time here. This pass occurs, the person runs onto the ball in this manner. Okay, and we'll just delete that. Delete. Okay, and this ball comes in here. Basically, there's a much smaller gap to run through, and usually a tag should be made between two people. This is the advantage of the line coming up together and nobody breaking the line.